I just went on a first date, and honestly, I am fucking traumatized.
So I went on the worst first date of my life yesterday, and I have to speak.
I went on the weirdest first date.
Welcome back to Storytime with Inspogram, where real people share unreal stories. Last episode, we dove into the chaos of rude customers. But today, love is in the air. From perfume baptisms to parental ambushes, and even reality TV disasters. These are first dates gone horribly wrong. Let's get into episode 2, First Date Gone Wrong.
I just went on a first date, and honestly, I am fucking traumatized. I'm traumatized. There's a reason why I'm feeling that way. So let me fucking tell you. I matched with a lady. Let's say her name is Priyanka. Just for anonymity. I matched with Priyanka. And I see her profile. I'm like, wow, what a cute lady. Very beautiful. So attractive. And she sends me a message. She goes, hello. How are you doing today? And I'm like, I'm fine. Thank you very much. How are you? And she's like, I'm good too. I said, your bio made me laugh. She said, thanks. You too. Her bio said, it's either this or an arranged marriage with the emoji. So I thought it was funny and I responded to that. So she's talking about her family. She's talking about her roots. And we both have something in common that, both of our families are from parts of India. Could you have guessed? We exchanged a few messages back and forth, and then she said, hey, you should text me. Let's get off this fucking app. And I said, say no more, lady. I will send a message to the 10-digit code that you have provided to me today, and I will message you. She said, sounds great. I look forward to it. So I text her. So we're texting for a couple of days. Things are pretty steady. I asked her to FaceTime me. We FaceTime. She was real. You must be thinking, Zogar, why do you say she's real? Why are you surprised? Because guess what? The last fucking date I went on, somebody didn't fucking look like their goddamn pictures. That's why. So I said, hey lady, we should FaceTime. And she said, okay, sounds good. She was real. While we're talking on FaceTime, she's telling me about her favorite foods. She's like, yeah, I love Indian food. I'm like, me too. What a coincidence. So then I was like, hey, let's grab Indian food. Let's do it. First date, bold move, right? Nothing can go wrong with just Indian food, right? Wrong. I plan to meet with Priyanka at 6:30 this evening. I show up 10 minutes early because I want to scope out the place, scope out the area, make sure there are no fucking serial killers around while I eat Indian food, okay? Walk back to my car, get on TikTok to kill a few minutes of time before I'm planning to meet Priyanka for our first date. She ends up texting me saying, hey, I'm here! Exclamation point, smiley face. And then I respond, no need to yell, lady. I'm on my way. I'm right here as well. She said, okay, I'll come meet you out front of the restaurant. I said, sounds good. So I see her and she looks great. I give her a hug. I'm like, hey, so glad we got to do this. I'm Zakir. She said, hi, I'm Priyanka. So glad we got to do this too. And she said, let's go on in. I held the door open and she was walking in front of me and she said, oh, this is where our table is. So we're walking towards our table and I'm just following her. And she then uses her hand and gestures like, oh, this is our table. And I see two people that are sitting at our table. I'm like, who's sitting at our table? And there's a table of 4 here. And she's like, oh, this is my mom and my dad. And I'm like, hello, how are you doing? I was not prepared for this moment in life. There was no way that she had brought her mom and dad with her. on the first date, I'm like, that's it. This is my arranged marriage. I cannot hide from this moment in time. My love life expired. There is officially an end date to my dating career. What is happening? So Priyanka's dad is sitting across from me at the table. Priyanka's mom is sitting to my right. Priyanka is sitting diagonally from me. And I could already tell that Priyanka's dad, for some reason or another, does not like that I'm here, or even he's here. And he looks at me and he says, so I see that you're interested in my daughter. And I'm like, hello, uncle. Actually, we met on Bumble and she made the first move and sent a message to me. So I think it's a little bit mutual. He said, okay, what do you do for work? And I'm like, please don't say TikTok. Please don't say TikTok. Please don't say TikTok. I tell him what I do for work. And right as I'm about to say my profession, he goes, are you a doctor? And I'm like, he caught me off guard because I wasn't expecting him to cut me off. And I said, no. He said, are you a lawyer? I said, no. He said, do you have any form of medical school degree? I said, no. He said, then what do you do? I'm like, oh my God, is this an interrogation room or a date? I wasn't even sure. So I tell him what I do for work and also mention that I do content creation on the side. And he looks at me with a very stern face, like, and I'm like, oh shit. I don't think this is going well at all. He said, can you call your parents to come join us? I said, what? Bro, I can't. I said, first, no, because they're not local. And second of all, I thought this was a fucking date with me and Priyanka. Had no idea that the parents were going to come involved and we're going to arguably set up an arranged marriage on the first date. So I told him, I was like, oh, so sorry. Like, my parents aren't nearby and they won't be able to make it. So then he said, okay, our time here is done. Priyanka, let's go. And Priyanka gets up, her mom gets up, the dad gets up, and they all are walking out of the restaurant. I was like, what just happened? I thought I was, what? So I haven't heard from Priyanka. I don't know what is happening. So I thought I'd tell TikTok, and honestly, maybe it's a sign that things weren't going to work out. So, on to the next first date. Bye-bye. Ta-da.
My guy was just trying to eat his food, not defend a PhD thesis. The poor dude held his composure, but when the dad said, call your parents to join us, that was it. He realized he wasn't on a date, he was in an arranged marriage pilot episode. Sometimes you don't need red flags to tell you it's not meant to be. You just need her parents showing up uninvited. What would you have done if your date showed up with her parents? Comment below. The best response gets featured in next week's episode. All right, now on our second story, the champagne and cannelloni disaster. So imagine this. You've been talking to this guy online for a year. He finally invites you out for a cute date at a fancy food festival. You're thinking, champagne, good food, maybe some romantic energy? Wrong. Instead, you find yourself in a random friend group paying for tickets, champagne, pasta, and somehow his friend's entire dinner.
So I went on the worst first date of my life yesterday, and I have to speak about it. Just for context, this was not like a random Hinge date. This is a guy who had followed me on Instagram for over a year and had very much been the one pursuing a first date. We were meant to actually be going on a date this evening, but the guy doesn't live in London. He messaged me being like, oh, well, I'm actually going to be up for Taste of London. And I was like, oh my God, I've always wanted to go to Taste of London but never been. He was like, you should definitely come. Why don't we swap out tomorrow for that instead? And I was like, wait, hold on, are you going with people? Like, I don't want to gate crash. And he was like, oh no, don't worry, I'm just going with a couple of people from work, but I'll be with them before you arrive. And when you arrive, you and I can go off and do our own thing. I turn up, first of all, literally cannot find this man. Like, arrive, there's no phone service anywhere. And bear in mind, we've never met in person before. So I know what he looks like in photos, but that doesn't always necessarily translate to recognizing someone in person. Anyway, finally find him in his group. He gets up to give me a hug. Everyone else just kind of looks at me and is like, hi. I got really bad vibes from the girls who were there, which I guess maybe they felt like I was crashing. I don't know, that's not how it was presented to me when I was invited. But then he's like, oh, everyone's finished their champagne, so why don't we go and get some more? And one of the girls he's with is like, can you get a nicer champagne than that one that we were just drinking? Which, already red flag. Anyway, we get the champagne for everyone, we go back, and then anyone who knows Taste of London, the whole point is going to go and experience the food, walk around, get a load of freebies, see all of the different brands there. When I tell you, this group was literally sat, not moving, the entire time. And do you know what? If it was really great vibes in the group, that would be a different thing. But it wasn't like at all. The vibes were really off. And also, the guide said that we would just go off, the two of us. We literally sat there the entire time with this big group of people. And then I was like, okay, well, I want to go around, see some of the food, etc. And he was like, yeah, cool, I'll come with. So we go up and get the food. Now I wanted to go around all of the like freebie stalls. He clearly wasn't interested in anything free. Anyway, we went to like go and get a ramen thing which he wanted, and then I was in the mood for some pasta. So we went to the Italy store there and I got a cannelloni, and he wanted some like fried cheese thing, so I got that for him as well, and I paid. Now bear in mind, I also paid for my ticket to go to Taste of London in the first place. Not that I've got any issue with paying for it, but if I'm paying for it, I do also want to get my money's worth out of the event, which I definitely felt like I wasn't getting. Anyway, I took the fried cheese thing and he took the cannelloni. We go back to his group of friends, sit down, he puts the cannelloni in his friend's lap, his friend proceeds to eat the entire thing. Literally my dinner that I paid for. I'm sat there with a block of fried cheese on my lap, like I didn't even want this. Peppering in some other insights of the evening, one of the girls that he was with literally verbatim said, oh, I just wish there was an ability to pay someone else to go and get my food because I can't be arsed with the queues. Like, I would definitely pay someone else to do it for me. Like, sorry. Then time is moving on and I was like, do you know what, I'm having a shit time and I want to feel like I've actually been to Taste of London. So I was like, again, I think I'm gonna go up and like go around some of the food stalls, like try the freebies out. This man has been to Taste of London 3 times. Tell me why. We went up to one of the stalls and got a free thing. He was like, oh, I didn't realise you could get free food here. Like, that's literally the point of the event. I do not understand. Anywho, it's getting towards the end of the evening. We've been sat with his friends the entire time. And he's like, oh, you know, what's your plan? And I was like, oh, well, like, it ends at 9:30, right? So I was like, I'll probably go home, it's a work night. And he starts ringing all of his friends being like, oh, lads, are you still out? Are you still out? Ringing his friends, basically completely ignoring me. Girl that he's with like gets on the phone and is like, oh yeah, we'll get a black cab to you guys. We'll be there in 20 minutes. So then event ends. No questions on where I'm going, whether I'd like to come and join the group. We're all walking. All of the like wardens there are like, this way to Baker Street, you've got to go to Baker Street. And they're like, oh, well, we're getting in a black cab, so can we sneak through here and get out? And the guy was like, yeah, nobody asked to see how I was getting home. They then walk straight out, hail a black cab, all of the girls get in, and he's like, just turns to me, and I was like, well, I'm getting the tube home. And he was like, all right, yeah, nice to meet you, gives me a hug, hops in the cab, doesn't ask how I'm getting home, doesn't say, let me know when you get in, nothing like that. So that was basically the worst date I've ever been on. Basically a group date with this guy and all of his friends as a first date. He also has since had the audacity to say, thanks for the evening. And then when I didn't respond to that message, because I didn't think it warranted a response, said, all okay, question mark? Question is, do I go back to him and let him know why I was really disappointed in the evening? Or do I just leave it?
Girl said, I got cannelloni and ended up with fried cheese. And to make it worse, he didn't even ask how she got home, just hopped in a cab and waved goodbye. That's not a bad date. That's a networking event gone wrong. Sometimes the biggest red flag isn't what a guy says, it's how he acts when you're surrounded by his friends. This was a genuine 2 out of 10 first date experience, probably the worst she has ever had. We've all had awkward first dates, but this one, it started with a dinner and ended with a perfume bath, Taylor Swift karaoke, and a near-death experience in sports mode. Roll clip.
We made it to the date. He's walking to the door and I'm just waiting. Ooh, I'm nervous. This is the update we all been waiting for. Sorry, bitch, I'm literally still in bed, but y'all bitches wanted an update, so here it is. Okay, so we ended up going to this restaurant called Mexican Sugar. It's like a little Tex-Mex kind of thing, but they have really good food and they have really good drink. We got there, mind you, we both kind of got there a little later than we planned, but it was fine. We had reservations, whatever. Mind you, I was kind of scared to see this man because last time I seen him, we were at the club, and at the club is dark, bitch, so I didn't know if he was cute or it was just dark. But we meet at the door and I'm like, oh, like he's actually cute. He has a really good smile and he's taller than me. He's not super tall, but he's taller than me, right? So we wait for our table. We finally get our table and everything's just feeling so good at this point because we're just like going back and forth, like just talking. We're having great conversation. Like the conversation is flowing pretty well. So then we order. He's like, I don't know what to order. Like, do you know what enchiladas are? I'm like, yeah, enchiladas are really good. He orders enchilada and I ordered like a carne asada kind of thing. And then I went ahead and ordered myself a margarita. And he was like, I don't really drink, so I'm just gonna get a Coke. I was like, okay. So we're talking, everything's going well. And then I asked him, I was like, so when's your birthday? And he's like, 9/11. I said 9/11. Bitch, my birthday's 9/11. So that means he's literally a Virgo. I was like, my birthday's 9/11. He's like, no. I'm like, yeah. So we show each other our IDs and we're like, what the f? And he's like, it must be a sign. And then I'm just giggling. So conversation's going well. We have a nice little dinner. We just get to know each other a little bit, right? Now this is where all takes a turn. Like, I think if we would have just had dinner and I would have came home, I would have definitely seen him again. Now, I don't know if I'm ever gonna see him again, bitch. Let me just tell you. So dinner ends and he's like, I kind of park kind of far. Like, do you want to just chill for a little bit in my car and talk? And I was like, yeah, like I'm down. So we go to his car and he smokes cig. So he's just outside smoking his cig or whatever. Then he comes inside the car and he's like spraying his car. He's like, I don't want my car to smell. His car's super f***ing clean. So we're just talking for a little bit and he's like, hey, do you want to go to my house and smoke a little devil's lettuce? And I'm like, you know what, like I'm down. And he's like, maybe we could watch a movie or something. And I'm like, you know what, I'm down because the vibes were good. He wasn't making me feel uncomfortable or anything. So we start driving over there, right? And the whole car ride, like, it's nice. He's holding my hand, he's like kissing my hand and he's complimenting me. He's like, you're so beautiful, like you look so good tonight, like you look so good. And I'm like, oh, thank you. So we get to his apartment and he was like, do you want me to get everything and just bring it to you if you're more comfortable, or do you want to come up with me? I'm like, oh, either way, like I don't mind or whatever. Mind you, my friends have my location, baby. I am not getting trafficked or kidnapped. He was like, you can come in, but just like FYI, like we just moved in, so we don't have a lot of furniture and I do have like a roommate. And I'm like, that's cool because me and my bestie are roommates, so bitch, ain't nothing wrong with no roommate. I like, come on, like I'm not gonna judge. Like I don't judge, I'm not like that, bitch. So we get upstairs and his roommate is there. He was like, oh, I didn't know my roommate was gonna be here or whatever. So I meet the roommate. I'm like, hey, like my name's Sati. He's like, hey. Bitch, I go into the room because the room is next to the outside patio. And like I said, bitch, I don't be judging, but this is a little weird. Like having a roommate is one thing, but y'all have one room and y'all have y'all's bed in the same room. First red flag. Oh yeah, and by the way, he's like Muslim. This plays a little bit later on because I was like, huh? And he wanted us to watch a movie, but he didn't have a TV. He was like, I mean, I have a laptop, and ever since I went to college, like I'm just used to watching movies on my laptop. Go outside, we garden for a little bit, like literally just a little bit, because I didn't want to get too, you know, like I needed to go home. And mind you, like I met him there because I don't like people knowing where I live, and I was gonna ask him to Uber me, but I was like, I don't want him to know my address. So we garden a little bit and then we go back inside and he's like, oh, do you want to go get your car or whatever? I'm like, yes, please. So first he gives me this little oil perfume. He's like, look, it smells of vanilla and you just seem like a vanilla girl. And I'm like, oh yeah, it smells really good. And then he's like, do you have perfume? Like, do you want me to spray some perfume on you? Because like we just, you know, and I don't want you to smell like it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh yeah, like I have perfume. I'll spray my own perfume. He's like, no, smell this perfume. This is where it gets weird. And I think it's his perfume. He has me smell it. I'm like, oh yeah, it smells good. And then he just starts spraying me with it. Not like a quick no, bitch, spraying me for like 5 minutes. And he's like, let me show you how a Muslim woman perfumes herself. What the does that mean? We just garden, so in my head I'm just like, what the is going on. And bitch, I know I smell good because he was like, you smell so good, you smell so good. So why the are you spraying me with perfume for like 5 minutes? Like, I was literally soaked in perfume. Like, what? He gets his shoes on, bitch. We go downstairs, we get to his car, and he's driving like shit. He's driving like 10 miles per hour. This one thing though is hella comical. He's like, what music do you listen to? Do you listen to Taylor Swift? He was like, are you a Swiftie? And then I was like, I listen to Taylor Swift, but I listen to like old Taylor Swift type shit. He's like, well, the new Taylor Swift is good. Let me put you on, let me put you on. So then he starts blasting Taylor Swift and singing it from the top of his lungs. Like, he's just singing that shit to me. I'm not gonna lie though, I think that's kind of cute. But what bitch put you on? But the whole perfume thing had already like put like a bad taste in my mouth, because what? And his driving is low-key terrible. I'm like clutching my pearls like, bitch, I'm just ready to get to my car while we're blasting Taylor Swift all the way there. And then he's like, hey, like, do you want to see my sports mode? Like, my car has sports mode. And I'm like, I'm wearing heels. Because why was I thinking that he wants me to drive his car like an idiot? I'm like, no, I'm wearing heels, I'm wearing heels. And he's like, what does that have to do with anything? And then he puts that bitch in sports mode and almost hits a median, bitch. I was fighting for my life. In that moment, bitch, I'm like, nombre del Padre, del Hijo, del Espíritu Santo. Amen. Like, be with me, Diosito. Like, get me the home. So then we get back to the restaurant, we get to my car, and we're just sitting in his car. And he's like, hey, so like, do you want to stay over and watch a movie tonight? Like, do you want to come back to my place? I'm like, no, I have to go pick up my son. Because that whole shit was already giving me like red flags, you know? I was like, no, like, I can't tonight. Like, I have to go pick up my son or whatever. And I'm like, but I'm about to go. So before I can leave, this man goes in for a kiss and then just starts making out with me. And I was down for a kiss, but he's like, sir. And then, bitch, he starts reaching for my orangutans. Excuse me? And honestly, I was really not going for that shit. Like, I gave him a little kiss and I'm like, okay, gotta go. So yeah. Like, I'm glad I went because I'm open to going on more dates. But what the was that? And no, bitch, you ain't getting no new. Let me know y'all's thoughts. Should I go on a second date? Because he did ask me on a second date today. So what are we thinking? Bitch, I'm thinking no, but let me know what y'all think.
All right, let's talk about that. So it started out sweet. Great conversation, same birthday, cute smiles. Perfect setup for a romantic first date, right? But then, red flag number 1, shared bed with a roommate. And just when you think that's the worst of it, he goes full perfume priest, spraying her down like she's about to enter a fragrance competition. Then the Taylor Swift car concert? Iconic. But the moment he hit sports mode and nearly hit a median, girl, that was your cue to sprint. This story perfectly sums up why first dates should have exit plans. Always drive your own car. Always have your location shared. And if the night starts with good food but ends with perfume and panic prayers, that's not a date, that's survival. Anyway, what do you think? Should she give him a second date or let Taylor Swift handle the breakup? All right, on to our 4th clip. First dates can be nerve-wracking. But imagine showing up to an art museum looking your best, only to meet a man who jingles like a cash register and forgets to buy tickets. Let's begin.
I went on the weirdest first date. I went through a really messy breakup, and this was my first date back. Unfortunately, I fall under that category of women that dates losers, who don't take them out on dates, don't spend money on them, and lives in their apartment rent-free, like a potted plant. So when this guy that I meet off of Bumble tells me he's gonna take me to an art museum, I'm jumping for joy at the bare minimum. I get there early. I park, right? He says, let's meet in front of the museum. Okay, fine. And so I'm walking up the hill, right? I'm walking up the hill. It's like a 10-minute walk, and I'm not breaking a sweat because, you know, I go to the gym. I'm standing there waiting for him. There are people walking by, whatever. And I hear behind me, please, God, please let this not be the man that I'm gonna be spending the next couple of hours with. Picture this, he arrives, khaki pants, a blue long-sleeved plaid shirt tucked into the khaki pants, and some like boots. Let me show you what I was wearing. The outfit, I mean, I'm gonna Business casual versus girl who spends too much time on Pinterest and is 2 pins away from discovering a community that Tumblr in 2013 would have really liked. Yes, it's like the ED Tumblr aesthetic. Sorry, it was kind of a bad joke. Regardless, he also has his keys. There are like 7 keys attached to his belt loop, and every time he walks, he sounds like a Walmart cash register, y'all. I'm like, hey, he's like, hi, I had to walk uphill. Brother, take a beat. This is our first impression. Go to the corner, take a sec. He was like, yeah, I'm fine. Also, I didn't RSVP like for the free tickets. So he's kind of like trying to figure out the ticket situation. I am extremely turned off by this because you've asked me to go on a date. Where are the tickets? Like, let's be a little proactive here. There's only like one exhibit here, so we decided to go to the Broad, which is a bigger art museum. While we're in line trying to get the tickets, his phone kind of stops working and he's not able to get the tickets, and so he just kind of rage quits in the middle. And then I'm doing it. Then I get the tickets, whatever, you know? And then I'm like, all right, let's go. And he kind of looks at me like, where do we go? Lead the way, brother. You are the man, please. And so I was like, okay, like, let me lead the way then, princess. And so, you know, I walk, I'm about to open the door, and then I stop. And then he's like, and I'm like, ah, thanks. And then I walk in. Awkward. After this, we go get a matcha. At this point, I was just trying to give it a really fair shot. You know, I came out on this date. It's my first date back. I'm just trying to make the most of it. He talked about all of his exes, which I thought was a way to kind of make things a little bit more platonic, but that is certainly not what was happening. And then he tells me, oh, I've been pro-Palestine since 2021. You're gonna tell a brown woman? I should have said, oh, only 2021? He then also tells me that he thought that he was bi. And he was like, oh, yeah, like, you know, I tried it out on Grindr, but, like, I don't think I'm bi because, like, the people out there scared me. He then says, like, oh, I generally never feel connections on a first date, but, like, obviously that's, like, not how I feel now. And I was like, oh, okay. Also, one of my friends got brought up in conversation who is like a popular content creator, and he started freaking out over the fact that I knew who that was. He literally had to sit down. He was like, I'm so sorry. Honestly, like, I'm just a little bit starstruck right now. Like, he needed a moment. Like, and I was like, dude, oh my God. Like, no. He like started talking about Hassan, and honestly, listen, Hassan is not my type. I can objectively tell you, yes, he's very attractive, but like, if you are a man and you're on a date with a girl that's not feeling you, please don't mention Hassan, because now I'm thinking about Hassan and I'm looking at you. And the date is over. I cut it short because he is like literally like explaining just the plot. He explained the plot to like 4 movies to me, which movie guys, please stay away from me. I'm not renewing my AMC A-list membership for another man. I literally cannot do it. I don't use Letterboxd anymore. I am traumatized. He walks me to my car. I give him one of these, you know, like one armed hug. Then I leave. He texts me 10 minutes after we've parted ways. No, like, oh, it was so nice seeing you, blah, blah, blah. He says, and I quote, P.S. I would have totally gone in for an end of date kiss, but IDK if that was the vibe, and I didn't want to give you the ick. Bro, you gave me the ick when you arrived on our date with black specks under each and every nail that you had and white residue in your sideburn. And listen, I nipped it in the bud. I told him I didn't like him. I'll say this, his only crime, being cringe. Is that, you know, it's not the worst thing that you could be as a guy, but I'm just not looking forward to meeting any other men anytime soon. So, yeah.
Okay, first off, she deserves a medal for patience. Because from the moment he arrived, it was giving intern at a hardware store energy. Khakis, plaid, boots, and 7 keys like he runs a medieval castle. Then, No tickets for the art museum? Sir, you had one job. By the time he's talking about exes, Palestine, and Hassan Piker, I knew she was spiritually exiting the building. And when a man says, I would have gone in for a kiss but didn't want to give you the ick. Buddy, the ick arrived 90 minutes ago wearing khaki. Her only crime? Hoping for art but getting chaos instead. And honestly, maybe that's the moral. Don't rush the rebound. Some of these men belong back in the museum, under the extinct courtship behavior section. So, what about you? What's the weirdest first date you've ever been on? Comment below and don't forget to subscribe for more Storytime chaos. Now on our last clip of the episode. Imagine crushing on someone from your favorite reality show, only to realize he's not just toxic, he's still married, manipulative, and playing 3 women at once. Roll clip.
So I was talking to this guy from a reality TV show, and he damn near ruined my life and got himself canceled in a span of like 3 months. So I'm obviously not gonna name drop, and I'm not gonna name the reality show that he was from, but this was back in like 2023. November of 2023, I think, is when we started talking. And he had just gotten off the show. And we started talking through like Snapchat first. He asked for my Snapchat. No, he didn't ask for my Snapchat. He gave me his Snapchat. First red flag. This man is in his mid-30s, okay? And to give some background, I'm a huge fan of this show, like super fan. And I obviously knew who he was. I watched him on that season. Like, I was clearly like down to talk to him, right? So we start talking on Snapchat and things are going pretty well. We're getting to know each other. He's super sweet, very nice. He's asking me questions about myself and we're just talking, you know? And this went on for like a week and a half, okay? I remember it was like, I think the week before Thanksgiving or the week of Thanksgiving. And we are talking like every day, okay? Consistently every day. Now this dude on the show, he was kind of perceived as like a bad guy, like not a bad guy, but like a villain kind of, like no, not very many people liked him on the show. And I don't think a lot of people liked him off the show. Like, I just thought he was cute. Like, I had a crush on him. So like a week into December, he ends up going on another little reality TV show spinoff of the show that he was on. And so he let me know beforehand and he wasn't gonna have his phone. So I wasn't gonna be able to talk to him or anything, but I was like, it's cool. Like, I'm gonna be watching the show, rooting you on. You know, what could possibly go wrong? He comes back from the show, we're talking again, we're FaceTiming. At this point, he had ended up meeting my friends like over FaceTime. And also there were a few red flags that I started to pick up on that I was like, ooh, FaceTime call. He says that he has to stay in control of the relationship, meaning that I got 3 strikes, okay? And he says, if you get 3 strikes, then you're out. And I'm like, well, I genuinely thought he was joking, but then I was like, I can't tell if you're kidding or not. Like, what? And then he's all, okay, that's strike 1. You're gonna think a lot of these red flags are rage bait at this point because I still continued to talk to him after, but I'm a gots to see it through type of person. Plus, I wasn't really thinking too hard into the situation, so please don't judge me. So Christmas rolls around and we're still talking at this point. And I remember we FaceTimed, and on that FaceTime call, he made a really weird comment. He was like, I'm gonna leave you on red and I'm gonna stop messaging you back so that you like me more. And I thought he was joking. I genuinely thought he was joking. And I was like, okay, what? That's not gonna work. Like the day of Christmas, I text him and I say, Merry Christmas, and I get no response. I'm like, okay, that's a little silly. A day goes by and I'm like, oh, okay, that's really silly. That's just so funny. And then a couple more days go by and I'm like, bro was being serious. Okay, I'm gonna pull up the receipts, okay? I said, are you okay? I'm kind of worried. Did I do something wrong? No response. And then the next day, okay, so this is like 5 days at this point. He says, oh God, no, you're amazing. I'm just going through a lot. Thank you for being so awesome. I go in and out of talking. There's a lot of stress and pressure right now. So then I reply and I say, I just wanted to make sure you were all right and everything was good. I'm always here if you need to vent. Sorry you're feeling stressed. And then he sends me a song from one of my favorite bands. And I'm like, okay, but how do you know this song from my favorite band? So then I remember I go live on Instagram with my friend, and he ends up joining my live stream, okay? And I remember he was texting me, because we hadn't really talked that much at that point. After he had sent that message, I was like, I'm gonna take a step back. But I went live, and that night he texted me, he was like, oh, I get to watch you for a change. Like, this is whatever. And so I was like, okay, so are we good now? This is so typical. And then we started talking about music, and we're basically talking again at this point, like kind of consistently. I remember we also were talking on Snapchat still. This was over, okay, so some of this was over text, but we were still talking over Snap too. And like Snapchatting. And he would also FaceTime me randomly during the day. Just randomly would pop in and FaceTime me. So I thought, okay, if he can do that, then I must be able to do that too. So I remember I was going to a concert that day, and I was checking into the hotel and everything. When I got to the hotel, I FaceTimed him before I went to the show to talk to him, let him know, hey, I'm gonna go to the show. I wanted him to see my outfit, all this stuff. And he didn't respond. He didn't answer the FaceTime. So I was like, oh, okay. So after the show, I texted him and I say, are you awake? No response. I'm like, oh, he must not be awake. A few days go by, and I'm like, oh, bro must be sleeping really hard. That's so fucking crazy. So at this point, I'm pissed, okay? I noticed that when I get angry on my story times, I always raise my voice. So I'm trying to keep it at a minimum. At this point, I start losing my mind because I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Not again, okay? So I don't text him. I refuse. I literally chain myself to my fucking bed, and I'm like, I'm not texting this man. I'm not talking to him. I'm not reaching out. Like, if he's not gonna talk to me, I'm not gonna talk to him. But I was going crazy in the inside, okay? I was going absolutely crazy. I remember I was calling my therapist every single day, bawling my eyes out in my car, because I was just so like, why is this happening? Why am I being ghosted right now? Like, this makes no sense. I mean, this does make sense considering he literally said that he was gonna stop talking to me at times so that I would like him more. But being ghosted is literally the worst feeling ever, and also it's just so cowardice. Like, what the And I've been treated bad in my life, but being just straight up ghosted, no response, nothing, that is just pure evil. So you know that era after a breakup when you start posting on Instagram again on your story and you're just trying to feel hot again? Well, obviously I start doing that. And then I see that he's liking my story. And then one day, not only is he liking my story, he responds to my story. I'm like, okay, what the is going on? So I still don't really respond to him. He ends up, okay, so fast forward over a month and a half. My birthday's in February, okay? So I hadn't really talked to him at that point. I was still low-key a little salty because being ghosted is just not fun. So I was just trying to move on at this point. And then he texts me happy birthday on my birthday. Now this is probably where you would say, block him, ghost him, don't ever talk to him again. But in my head, my logic was, I don't want to be on bad terms with someone from my favorite TV show, okay? Because I just didn't want that. I didn't want any animosity, nothing. I was at that point, willing to move forward from it. I didn't want to talk to him again like that, but I just wanted to be chill. So whatever, we don't talk for months, and then April rolls around, and he messages me. And he's like, oh, I've been thinking about you, what are you doing? We had both happened to be going to LA at the same time. But at this point, I wasn't trying to do anything with him. I was responding to him, but I probably shouldn't have been at all. But then he's asking to hang out and stuff while we're in LA, which did not end up happening, okay? I did not end up hanging out with him. After that, I blocked him on Instagram and everything. And then a couple weeks later, my sister shows me this post that he made on his Instagram. It was a statement, him saying, I got the receipts here. Apparently he was involved with a relationship with a 24-year-old woman while he was still married to his wife, technically. And then he cheated on her with another 24-year-old woman. Initially, I was like, is he talking about me? I'm so confused. But then I realized, no, he was talking to me as well as 2 other women my age. Oh, well, he still had a wife. Dude was getting bagged on so hard on Twitter, but obviously I stopped talking to him after that. And then literally 5 months later, he hits me up again and he's trying to talk to me. To this day, he still texts me, but I don't respond. But yeah, there's still more to the story, but for the most part, dude was a tool. I guess never meet your heroes.
Okay, this one's heavy. It starts off as every fan's fantasy. The cute reality TV guy slides into your DMs. He's charming, flirty, and for a moment, it feels unreal. But then the red flags start piling up like a bad Netflix plot. Strike system, ghosting on Christmas, emotional manipulation disguised as mystery. This wasn't a love story. This was a psychological maze. And just when she starts healing, he comes back with the classic, "I've been thinking about you," while secretly still married. It's wild how fast admiration can turn into trauma when you meet the mask behind the fame. If there's one lesson here, never let someone from your screen step into your peace unless they've earned it. This is Storytime with Inspogram, First Date Gone Wrong edition. If you've ever been ghosted, manipulated, or made to feel crazy for caring, you're not alone. Like, subscribe, and share your story below, and thanks for watching.